Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bitch Sesh, early morning Bitch Sesh.
This is a Real Housewives breakdown show. I'm Casey Wilson.
I'm Danielle Schneider.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I feel like we haven't done the show in a while, but I guess we did a week ago.
Just last week, but just so much life has happened between then.
Spring has sprung.
Oh, it surely has. It's warm out in Los Angeles while you in the Northeast have a tundra of snow.
I mean...
But... You know, God bless you. Stay there, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, we're here. I was like, April and I were sitting outside basking in the sun, going over lines for a audition for A Star Is Born that I ended up turning down because it was only 2 lines.
With Lady Gaga?
Yes, written by Bradley Cooper.
He wrote it.
Now, I do have to say one thing.
Okay.
It's an odd choice for Bradley Cooper to write.
A Star Is Born. Interesting.
To write, direct, and star in.
Wow, I didn't know he was sort of like the mastermind.
I mean, that's quite a, I don't know.
It's
Our
quite
guest
a project.
Is giving me a look.
A side eye.
I'll let everyone put pieces together on what I'm saying.
I had something happen this week. Not something happen. I did something this week that I actually have to attribute to you and Miss June Diane.
What?
I was given a directive from you two on my birthday a few years back in front of a lot of people.
I'll never forget.
Yes. From quite a few people on a microphone, I believe this was done. A directive to get my body to the people.
Right.
I believe you guys, I am not a person that dresses I wear loose shirts. I wear
the only time I've seen you show your boobs was in the revision cartoon that was drawn for you.
Yes, my boobs are out and about. Not mine.
Even that artist wanted you to get your breasts out.
And I wouldn't even say they were my breasts. They were somebody else's breasts, but they were showing everyone.
And hey, it looked great.
She looks fantastic.
Well, you have very large breasts.
Thank you. Again, they're a lower bosom, but they're large. Yeah,
but
sure.
you're such a tiny gal with large naturals.
Yeah. That felt so...
Sorry. I've had sex dreams about you.
I know, Casey has. And I think we've shared them on the podcast.
Yeah. So June and I love your body. And what we don't like is how many like sweaters and overcoats and wraps you have on.
I'm not a person that shares, it's not like I have bad feelings about my body. I just am not, I think I'm not in touch with my body. I feel not associated with it sometimes, I would say, right?
Okay.
And so I went into a store yesterday and I found myself a top that I normally would not have tried on.
What is it?
I'm going to say it's a crop top.
What?
It's a crop top.
Well, now I'm worried.
Did I go wrong?
Well, I wanted you to show more up top, not so much down low, but go on.
I misunderstood.
No, you've got a great body. I'm telling you, you could wear anything.
Well, it's not like a tummy. Like, it's not a tummy bang thing. It'd be the type of thing you would wear with like a higher pant.
Okay.
So it's just a part of my body I never have on display.
Right.
And I put it on and the sales girl was like, I love it. It looks so great on you. And I was like, this is not me. I am an older gal. I am a mother. I don't know that I can wear this.
What store was this?
It's a little store. It's just a small little boutique in Studio City called, I can't even remember the name of it.
Okay.
I do believe have 3 locations, but I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Jill.
Oh, that's a great store.
Yeah.
It's Jill something.
Yes.
It's great.
It's great. It's right by Jones on 3rd. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, everybody, look it up. But they have
great ad.
Great ad. Jill something. Look it up. Anyway, so the sales girl was like, you should put this on. And I was like, huh. And I put it on and I liked it, but I was too afraid. And I took it off and I said, I don't think so. And then I heard you in June in my head saying, get it to the people.
Did you get it?
And I bought it.
Yay! I want to see a photo.
Okay, I'll have to place one.
I'm so happy.
I mean, it still has the tag on. It's sitting in my closet. We'll see how long I can, do I return it? Do I?
No. You get June involved. Take a photo of it. Okay. Let's see some looks.
Yeah.
We'll get Claire involved.
Yes. We need to get a lot of people involved for me to wear this outside of my house.
It was hard for June and I think, at your birthday party, again, in front of 100 people on a microphone to admonish you.
Yes, you did.
But it did feel like we needed you to turn a corner. And we wanted you to be held accountable.
I am. I feel it. I hear it. I can't go to a store now without being like, Get it to the people.
We said the same thing to Jessica St. Clair.
Yes. And she has abided. I feel like
She has. She's
definitely-
lowered necklines. She's done tighter things. And I appreciate it.
Yeah. No. So I just wanted to let you know your work has
And
not.
meanwhile, please know Claire has told June and I on many occasions, we need to cover up more. Oh, you don't even understand. She's like, June, Diane, and you both want to do a mini skirt. She's like, it's your age. No. We want to do mini skirts. June has like a very Long Island sensibility deep within her. And I have like a very kind of white trash sensibility. It's all from our roots that I want to get it all out there.
Yeah,
And
I hear that.
so we're all trying to meet in the middle somewhere. Just know that.
I've gone on, I'm all the way at the other side. I'm just in like stripes that are covering me from head to toe right now in front of you.
You're like a
stripes.
head to toe nautical.
And I'm happy to have that look. So it's really hard for me to step out of my comfort zone of the Cape Cod shore. But even though
proud
I've
of you.
never been, not once. So I'm here, and we'll see what happens.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And we'll keep you all updated on this developing story.
Keep your ear to the ground.
Yeah. Claire has some very controversial thoughts on Erica Jayne that I'm going to share as soon as we,
I don't
when we
even know
bring
if I
our.
can handle that.
I know, when we bring our guest out, we'll get there.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. I literally started to well up when you started to say that.
Danielle.
She's just gone through.
Danielle is crying. Danielle is crying. It's not bad.
I know, but I just can't handle it.
Are you okay? Danielle is crying. Okay, if anyone thought that we were not invested in these shows, we've now just like crossed a line into something.
Guys, I don't know what's happening.
What is? Are you okay?
I think so.
I mean, I know you've discussed having some anxiety in your life, but is everything good?
Everything's okay.
Okay, great.
I'm sorry. It just struck me.
You love her.
I really do. Anyhow, okay. Let's move on.
Okay. It's nothing bad. I mean, it's not great, but we'll get to it.
Okay, so
You're such a sweet person.
fine.
Oh, man.
Okay, so something else big is going on right now.
Well, it's that time of year again, Danielle, and I know everyone's thinking spring. Everyone's thinking, we're headed towards Easter, Passover. It's that time again. Teacher Appreciation Day is upon us.
It sure is.
And the ladies are
they're back. They're back, and it's the same group, and they're better than ever.
Those bitches are emailing up a storm.
Oh, they sure are. We just have a taste. It hasn't come to like completion yet.
Yes, this is just the beginning of the planning process for Teacher Appreciation Day. Now, if you did not hear the first installment of this,
Yeah, please go back. I can't remember the episode.
God, we gotta find it.
It's like this time last year, if you can track
Yeah,
back.
we'll look it up and we'll tell you the name. So, my contact.
Yes, your contact. Your boots on the ground.
I've been watching The Americans obsessively, and I know I'm very late to it.
Me too.
What I feel for Matthew Reese. No, Danielle. I'm ready to walk out of my life, out of my marriage, leave my child.
Have you seen his girls episode?
Yeah. I saw it all. I watched things. So I saw that episode, which didn't care for the ending. Controversial.
Okay.
Love girls, but and I'm loving this season. But I saw that episode and I'm like, who's this young upstart? Like this young talent.
No, he's
and
a
then,
spy.
oh my God.
Amazing.
I'm obsessed with him,
And he's
Danielle.
like British or Irish.
Scottish.
Sorry. Wow. You had your own Erica Jayne reaction. to
Danielle, he's
anger.
a man of 1,000 accents, and I won't have him disparaged. Okay, by your, misinformation this time.
Okay.
He is so gorgeous. And why Carrie Russell's character, I mean, I know they're both spies, doesn't want to be married to him in the beginning is so beyond me, and I hate her for that.
Oh.
I've gone down, June and I both gone
Meanwhile,
down wormholes with
they're
him.
married in real life, and she I don't know if she left her husband.
Well,
for
June's
him.
like, Carrie, the actress, wised up right quick. With him. I've been watching YouTube videos of interviews of them.
What?
Like, even if they're just like standing around set and someone like took it and it's like unauthorized, I'm like, what's Matthew and Carrie up to? So into him, it's
you
crazy.
really are deep in.
All of that is to say, as Russian spies for the KGB, they have contacts.
I know. Are you rooting for the Russians?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
I'm motherland or bust.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm just like seems pretty good over there.
I'm like,
a lot of hot guys.
And they really care about their country. Like the rest of us. So anyway, much like they have, this is the long way to say, much as they have their contacts on the ground, I have a contact, a spy.
In the midst
of this Teacher Appreciation Day. These are a group of women planning, and we read several of their emails last year, planning a pajama day. Well, that was their theme last time.
Yeah.
Planning a teacher appreciation party at a school.
And they take it very seriously and have come to blows, basically. Verbal blows.
In over 25 emails with each other.
Yeah.
So this is just, we're tipping our toes back into the waters. And this email was sent from our fearless leader, Kristen, to one contact I have.
Yeah, okay.
She says, hello. Hope all is well. It has come to our attention that your class is missing a teacher appreciation rep. Please help us find someone to represent your class as soon as possible, or join us yourself in making this fun event happen. This event is set for Friday, June 2nd. If you don't find a volunteer for your class, you will have to take over as room parent as such, or please advise the new volunteer to please plan ahead to have someone pick up at noon that day, and one of your attendants will be mandatory. Now, I don't even understand that sentence.
But the tone with which she writes an email sends a chill through my spine.
Like law correspondences with more warmth.
Yes. Like it is, she has a way of being that I fear her when I close my eyes.
Me too.
Yeah. More than war, more than famine.
More than the KGB.
More than the KGB. It is Kristen and Teacher Appreciation Day.
She continues.
Fills my nightmares.
The luncheon will start right after pickup ends around 12:30 p.m. We will anticipate setting up the room the evening before and or the morning of. Please clear your calendars as of now. This is an event that the teachers look forward to all year long and has historically been a really fun time. We want to continue that tradition and are excited and grateful you've signed up to volunteer. We have a theme in mind and would love suggestions. We will discuss planning and assign roles in helping figure out vendors and pricing. We have a budget and we'll need everyone's help in finding appropriate resources. I know this is last minute and we apologize in advance, but we're holding a meeting this Friday, March 10th at 9:15 in the library. We didn't know of this until now, so please try your hardest to attend and pass on the info or stay in touch, and we will fill you in and help you along until the next meeting. You're welcome to call or text me should you have any questions. Best, Kristen. Now, again, this is just dipping our toe.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's come to blows yet, but we just wanted to reset the scene.
But there is no way that people are going to get out of this alive. Like there will be casualties. There always
absolutely.
are. Whether it be over a USB port or what was it last year?
It was over a USB stick.
Yeah.
The photos were not uploaded in time.
Yeah, so.
And my contact has forwarded me this and just simply said, LOL, hell no. So things are brewing.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We'll be following that story in your crop top.
Yeah,
all spring.
All spring. These are the big spring stories.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, should we take a quick break and then bring out our guest?
And we're back. And guys, this is one of our favorite guests of all time. We've had him on live shows, but he's never been in the Nook, I don't believe.
Certainly not at this hour.
No, certainly not this bright hour, but he is dressed to the nines per usual.
Looking amazing in a suit with short.
Like young King George.
Yes.
It's dapper and in a short pant.
And fabulous. This is Brian Moylan.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to finally make it to the Nook.
Well, and for those of you who all probably know, he does all the Housewives recaps for Vulture, and he is self-titled. What is your self-title again?
My official self-title is Dame Brian Moylan, founder and president of the Real Housewives Institute.
Yes, and he is. He truly is.
And are there any other officers?
We have the gentleman who fills in for me when I go on vacation and can't do recaps. He is his name is Ben Marie Malauer, and I think he is vice president of gift shop sales.
Okay, wow. Real low down on that.
Yeah.
He's like, what's her name from Ladies of London? Jules, in charge of the gift shop.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I'm sure that we can find some honorary offices for you guys. Maybe there will be a teacher appreciation day.
Yes, please.
Or something.
We'd love to chair that committee.
Yeah, anything.
Okay.
Anything and everything. But we're so excited to have you here.
And you're in Los Angeles. You normally live in New York.
Angeles? Yes, I know. I went to Tried to walk into Sir last night.
How'd that go over?
Not well. However, like I walked in and saw like 4 Vanderpump Rules cast members like right away.
Serving?
God, no.
Lisa's son Max was serving.
Oh,
Wait, serving. I'm sorry, I have to stop you because
not bussing?
Well, he was at a table. I'm not sure what sort of function he was performing.
he's kind of a catch-all there.
Yeah.
Although I know he's not cleaning the bathrooms because nobody is.
No. He's like a swing. On stage, they call you, if you can do many parts, a swing.
They're like an understudy tonight. We played by
Max Vanderpump.
Sorry, continue.
So he was there, and then Brittany was serving, and Peter. I saw Peter there, but then Kristen was there, just like hanging. Like talking to people.
Do you think she was there in the way like, and I know we've talked about this reference before, like on
Sally Field?
Yes, Sally Field, Whoopi Goldberg and Soap Dish.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like she was, and
like just like let me go get a little lift at the bar.
Like I'm depressed today. I didn't get that audition. I didn't do that catalog modeling shoot that I wanted.
Isn't she a comedian?
No, that's Ariane.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Kristen is the comedian. Yes.
I heard Kristen's now doing comedy, right?
What?
Yeah, she had an improv show, I think at the Laugh Factory or one of those, but it was in the middle of the afternoon. So that can only like vouch for the quality of entertainment.
We're taping this at 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, so who are we? But at the same time, I've rarely done an improv show in the day if it hasn't been for something that was very well paid.
Yeah, so we shall see. Wow. But I feel, speaking of Sally Field and Soap Dish, I feel like that's what Hillary Clinton keeps doing at Broadway shows. Like when she needs to like feel the adoration of the people, she's like, let's see if there are any free tickets to Dear Evan Hansen tonight.
It's hard to hear you disparage her, but yes, I agree.
Anything where it's just, again, I had that Erica Jaynes effect. I was like, he's talking about Hillary.
I love her for it. I would do the same if I were Hillary.
She has been popping up at your Sunset Boulevards and your...
Yeah, but
I
feel
she's
like...
taken in a lot of shows.
As would I on my vacation. She's been working so hard. God bless that she should be like doing what all grandmas do, which is go see a Broadway show.
Well, today I saw a photo of Obama in Hawaii playing golf, and I was like, help us! But then I checked myself, and I'm like, bitch, he's been helping us for 8 years. Let the man have a vacation. And I'm like, I'm really glad he's there. And just decompressing with Michelle.
Yeah.
You know, he's done all he can, and he did a ton, and he needs to... It's up to us now to fix this shithole. He's done enough. Brian, so did you eat at Sir? Did you go to the bathrooms?
We tried to get a table at Sir, and there was a very long wait. And so then we tried like another place down the street, and there was a long wait there. So we ended up at Pump, which I've been to before with Matt McConkey. Mm-hmm. And we actually walked out on our bill at Sir, or at Pump the last time we were
You there. Walked out on you dined and dashed?
Well,
you and Matt?
I think, well, we went and we had a reservation, and it was at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on a Friday night. It was like very late.
Bed.
I know. And so we were waiting, and they were like, oh, your table's not ready. And we're like, what the hell? And so we were waiting. We had some drinks. And I think that we each thought the other had paid at the bar for the drinks. And so we were like, we're going across the street to some other place. And we just got up and like walked out. And then when we got there, we realized that we never paid Lisa
and
Vanderpump
no one went
for
back.
Drinks, and no one went back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow. I think Lisa Vanderpump's doing okay. Like from her 7 houses and 12 geese.
Yeah,
I think she's got it covered.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the game.
It's okay. Yeah,
I think we're all going to be okay.
Wow. So glad to see you. Let's just jump right in. So a dear friend of our podcast and one of my best friends, Adam Pally, was on Watch What Happens Live last night with Ms. Lisa Rinna.
Yes.
And Adam has sent us, which I have not listened to yet, a little voice memo about his experience.
Oh, I can't wait. I haven't heard it either.
Okay, let me pull this up. And he was very upset, he told me, because of the blizzard. Andy wanted them all to wear pajamas. Mm-hmm. He's like, Casey, I can't go on wearing my pajamas. I said, Adam, you will do what he asks of you and shut the fuck up.
You should be grateful to be in his presence, and you keep your mouth closed and look pretty.
Yeah. He's like, oh, they really love you and Danielle around here. I go, yeah, it's the only place we get our due. And that building.
No one else respects me. I can't walk into a store here with respect. But Watch What Happens Live. That building for me, again, I have not been in since we started this podcast, but I feel like we could have a name. Hi, Danielle. How
Yeah,
are
like
you?
maybe like our name on a brick or like
Yes.
something.
Or just be welcomed with arms.
I think
wide
what
open.
most people don't realize is that Watch What Happens Live is taped in some like random office building on the west side of Manhattan. It's like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
there's
like in an
very little
office.
glamour in the
But yet
Watch
it's
What
so
Happens Live.
charming.
Oh, I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
And they have a whole new set.
Yes, we have not visited.
I was invited for press day at the new set. They had a bunch of reporters.
Did they give out drinks?
They had drinks. We all got little Watch What Happens Live boxes with Mazel shot glasses in them as like a little parting gift. And Andy came before there was a little reception, and the PR people brought him around and was introducing to them, and he, I know the head of PR fairly well from attending all these stupid Housewives events, and he was like, "Oh, and this is Brian Moylan," and Andy goes, "You're the Brian Moylan," and it was like the best moment of my
being
life. I was like,
knighted.
"Yes, I am, bitch."
Wow, I'm
That's
looking at you like
huge.
you just golfed with Obama. I'm like, wow.
I know. I got to chill.
I know, it was very exciting. And then
Brian.
some woman from E all like got in there. I was like, "Andy," and I was like, "I'm having my Andy Cohen moment. What are you doing?"
Guys, I just had a flash.
What?
In 30 years, 40 years, picture us.
Are we going to be alive?
No, I won't. For sure, I will not. But when you guys are alive, I don't want to see Andy age.
I think he's going to age well. He's already just beautiful.
Will it be like
his
when-
father's a handsome man? I have
Yes,
deep
but I'm
down-
talking really age, like Dick Van Dyke style, where you're like, oh, I love it. Well, it'll just be strange to see our kind of Andy
Our Andy.
Warhol, like in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I God bless these should die before he ages too much. Or
It's like how parents need to go before their children.
yeah,
I
I need him to go before us.
I'm going to call for that. I'm going to ask that.
Yeah, we can't-
Respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully, you have to die before us for us to respect you.
I can't live in a world without Andy.
No. I hear you.
Okay, here's a little voice memo from Adam Pally.
Okay.
Hey, Casey, Danielle. It's Adam. I hope this is working. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I did the show last night, and with Lisa Rinna and Andy Cohen, and during this is a story from then that Casey demanded I record into my phone. Anyway, during the after show, you sit there and they make you do an after show, and callers call in, and this one caller asked like something about your guys' podcast, something along the lines like, "Are you going to go on again?" I don't remember the question, and the audience was like weird about the question, and we like kind of moved on quick. And then during commercial break, these two women in the audience got my attention. They said, "No tagging, no tagging." And I had vaguely remembered you guys talking about something like that. And I kind of said to them, "Oh, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it." And so I turned to Andy in front of Lisa, who's like paying attention to both of us. And I said, "Andy, I don't think that we're supposed to like talk about the podcast. I think that's one of like their things, like no tagging or whatever." And Andy looks at Lisa in the eye, then turns to me and says, "She has no idea what's going on right now." And Lisa smiles and turns to me and just like looks blankly into my eyes. And I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" So I don't think they used, I didn't watch the wrap-up show, but I don't think they used it. But if they do, someone mentions it. But I don't think you guys have to worry, because even Andy knows that the Housewives wouldn't know what this was if it was like explained to them very carefully. And then another funny thing that's going on after the show is that I'm being tweeted at by a ton of pro-Trump housewife fans, which are, if you want to see a group of ugly avatars, you check out the bunch of math teachers that are tweeting me right now. Anyway, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm glad Adam woke up in the middle of the night to record that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was explosive.
My patience is wearing thin with Lisa Rinna.
As is all of ours, I think. Why, Brian?
I feel like she's very charming and she gets by on charm, but there's, like Adam said, there's no substance at all. It's sort of, she's always like filibustering, I feel like, and like, oh, I have a sense that you're talking about.
It was so weird.
Couldn't have been weirder, guys. Was it a sense? Or
no, she said, of course. Well, she pivoted midway through. She's like, somebody told me, and then she's like, no, I just have a sixth sense. It was the strangest pivot I have ever seen.
And I've also never seen someone so happy to have something over to be in the, like, she narrowly avoided catastrophe not a week ago at Carney's Love Bites party.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she just was so happy, it seemed, for like the focus to be on someone else forgetting what they had said.
And then and again, we'll actually talk more about the episode, but
I think we're here.
I guess so.
Here we are.
Right smack dab. We landed beautifully.
Feels good.
Transition was seamless.
Yeah.
But she at one point goes, I mean, for Dorit not to say it, when I called around to not say it, was like, they confronted you, 6 women, you were up against a wall, asked you if you had said if Kim Richards was near death, and you said, I don't remember saying that.
Xanaxed out of her mind.
And so for then her to be like, when I confronted Dorit, I mean, just say it. If you say, I was like, you have no idea who you are. Like, you have no idea what you just did 10 minutes ago.
Do you think she was tipped off by like the producers or somebody? Like, it seemed like she
someone
had
told her.
I think it was Erica. Because Erica jumped right in.
Who never
gets
into
the fray.
Never.
And
that
I
was
think
weird.
The only person you would mildly try to protect is Erica, because you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of history there.
Yeah.
And I feel like Lisa's like, nope, nobody told me. Just like, to not even give it up in testimonial? What are we?
But I feel like the housewives always give it up. Like, who told them? They're like, oh, it's not important. It's
we'll
not important.
find out in the reunion, Brian, but we've never gone this long.
That's true. That's true. But it was all like very strange. But yeah, we were supposed to believe that she had a sixth sense.
And
about.
Who cares? And it was said half jokingly. It was just like, Lisa.
But I mean, it was said like.
I don't think so, Danielle. I gotta stop you there.
I likened it to Wile E. Coyote holding a big sign with a red arrow painted towards a tunnel painted on the side of a mountain. You know what I mean? It's like, well, when. I don't know if she's on drugs or not, but when we were at Eden's house, she pulled out her big bag of pills and said she put Xanax in her smoothie. Ha ha ha. So maybe, like it was leading everybody in a direction.
100%. And then the clip they flash back to with Eden, when they're talking about, Erica said it, like characterizing someone to be like, well, do you think, the pills? That means you definitely think this plays into like the larger landscape of someone's personality. You're welcome. I'm a psychiatrist now.
No, I hear you.
I think Dorit has been like a little just scummer with this little shred of like crumbs trying to make this into something.
The one thing I hold on to with Dorit is like, I think she looks great. Like I can't take my eyes off of her. Like I think she's beautiful.
I feel like Dorit has an allergy to sleeves. Like, why can't she put her arms into the sleeves?
Stop fucking draping your coat.
I know. It's like,
can I say I'm okay with that?
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
She's got to stop the draping.
I think it suits her.
In New York,
fits her.
in New York, we call it an editor's cape, because that's what the fashion editors do at a fashion show. They just put their coats over their arms. I cannot.
Claire
with
has
the
asked me
cape.
to do it, and it's too embarrassing.
Really?
Well, I can't pull it off.
I think if Claire had asked me to do it, I'd be like, at your command. I shall drape something over my shoulders. Happy to.
I have to say, Dorit with those stupid bobby pins.
Oh my God! Thank God. I was going to ask you about that.
I was trying to get my head. Is that what those were? Bobby pins? I thought she had a mesh contraption, like that wrapped around her ears and to the back.
It looked like the way you set your hair when you're going to put a wig on over it.
Yes,
and then she didn't put a wig on.
I didn't like that look. A lot of the time I'm enjoying her
I
look.
did like the look. So remember when Erica Jayne came down with those buns on her head? And I thought to myself, wow, Erica must have paid however much money. And we'll get into the fact that Mikey was also flown out.
Mikey.
Oh my God. I have a whole thing about Erica's.
Okay. So that's coming 2 seconds. But so Erica paid so much money to have Mikey in the gang.
Oh my God.
But then I did think to myself, Dorit's done a very nice job with her eye makeup.
Yes.
And her high pony. She's always with, as Matt said, a tight bun and a cape. Never not without it. But she does a nice job with her makeup.
Yes.
No, I mean,
Agree.
I agree with you. She does look great, but it like all seems a little affected. But then when they went on the junk, she was wearing those like thigh high lace up boots.
I'm sorry. I love how
junk.
you just said when they went on the junk. Like that's something we've all done.
The junk boat. The junk boat.
I mean, girl, I go on the junk all the time, but Take
Is that our
as you
new
will.
word? Guys, I'm on the junk boat.
And Kyle's like junk boat, and of course that was just a real moment of fun between Lisa and Kyle laughing about the junk boat.
It's so funny because I cannot stand Lisa and Kyle together, but Kyle and Erica Jayne are my
God.
new favorite duo.
Absolutely. That scene in the park about their mothers.
I was
my
crying.
God.
I want a whole reality show, and I know Kyle's doing a version. I want to know Big Kathy. I want to know.
Well, I thought they just should have put an ad for Big Kathy's show at the bottom of that scene. You know what I would like? And I, with so much respect to you and me, I don't think we could do this scene. I would like to get amazing actors like you know, Glenn Close and Meryl Streep, Viola Davis, to reenact that scene because it was such a beautiful scene between Erica and Kyle.
Amazing. And I was thinking the same thing, that I wish reality television existed when Big Kathy was still alive, because I just want to see her.
Let's talk about this podcast. You must remember this all the time. I want a deep dive on You Must Remember This. Not that she's big enough. She's not Marilyn Monroe. She's not Carole Lombard.
Although they've done smaller actresses.
Exactly.
I mean, granted, they've jumped off the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like there is some rich stuff there with Kathy Hill. With Big Kathy.
You're absolutely right. And I would like to see a Housewives, I've always said this, set in the 60s.
Me too.
And just the same types of drama that go on maybe on like a suburban street with like ticky-tacky houses, that kind of thing. And I feel like Big Kathy could be our glue.
Yes.
So I did an article recently, and it was like the 100 greatest celebrity rumors of all time. And I did all this research and found all these like crazy rumors. Of course,
Tell us them all.
So of course there was like the Richard Gere and the gerbil, and Jamie Lee Curtis is a hermaphrodite, and like, you know, all those like old tropes. But one that I found very interesting was a rumor.
Okay.
That Big Kathy gave her daughters sex lessons. And that she hired a man to come and teach Kathy Hilton how to have sex, and in like a van parked in front of their house. What? And that Kathy then went and passed this right along to Paris Hilton.
Where did you hear this rumor?
I mean, I dug it up in the like depths of the internet, but I found it in several places that there's this whole like Kathy Hilton, Paris Hilton sex lessons insanity.
Wow, that's a crazy rumor. Where did you even hear it?
I dug it up on the internet somewhere, but I found it in several places. So, I mean, it's a rumor that's out in the world.
Rumor.
But I mean, I don't really put that much stock in it, but I really want to know what went down with Big Kathy and Kyle for her to have that sort of reaction in the park.
Yeah.
I think I identify with Kyle, and I thought it was the most human moment Kyle's had, and really beautiful, which is that she, you know, it's that moment where you're a mom and you are forgiving of things that have happened, and you realize your parent is fallible. And I'm sure maybe not that, or maybe that. It sounds like Big Kathy was troubled.
Yeah.
And there was a lot
put her
going
daughters
on.
into this business, like it or not, is tough on a kid.
But I thought that was beautiful. And yes, it was coming from a psychic, but who cares?
That's what I was going to say.
I'm
Let's
happy.
remember that she's having an emotional reaction to something a psychic told
As
her.
we all have had in this room.
And I love how Kyle kept being like, and when she said that, like my mom through the psychic, she said, you know, especially what the psychic said about Kim, that you're not responsible for Kim. That's why I do feel like, how dare Lisa Rinna
say,
and people have differing opinions on this, that Kyle enables Kim, but it's very difficult to be a family member of someone with addiction and also try to support them and be their friend and their sister and also be on a reality show together.
Yes. That's the one thing that I have not experienced is that part. But yeah, I think all of those things make a relationship with a family member or loved one very difficult, and you want to support them, but you need to let them go. Like it's so fraught that like I
bet the most fraught part of it all is Lil Kathy.
Oh, Lil Kathy.
Hilton.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they're at each other's throats for all sorts of reasons.
Well, Lil Kathy did not agree to have her story be a part of Kyle's show.
Right.
And so it's just the two Richards sisters.
Not the third.
Well, and then there's the agency drama.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, if we can go one episode without the agency hat appearing on screen.
We can't.
I mean, this season has been like a branding bukkake on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's just been like, oh, Yulin and my show and the agency, and oh my God, it's like everyone.
At least Yulin is a charity.
At least Yulin is a charity, so it's for a good cause. But I mean, it's like every week.
It really is. There's a lot. Not even.
I'm a little Yulined out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
And then the documentary, and then I thought it was so weird. Oh, can we talk about Eileen? Can we just get into the Eileen?
Can I just ask one question about the documentary? Is that what we were there for Lisa to film in a green screen?
Yes.
I was like, I thought that too. I was like, she could have green screened in Los Angeles.
Sweetie, walk to studio. You can throw a rock and hit a green screen in LA.
Right.
People set them up in their own houses. Like you could literally put something green and stand in front of it.
Literally.
And Eileen made this whole deal. Like I thought it was going to be like she's presenting the documentary to some animal rights activists, or there was going to be some sort of panel discussion.
Or we're attending Yulin.
Yes.
Right. Or a protest or something. And Eileen's like, oh, I'm going to go. And I was like, oh, that's so great. It's such a great moment. And then she just went to watch Lisa Vanderpump read her lines.
We're huddled around a computer in a cubicle.
Yeah, it was a weird excuse. I mean, we've talked about weird excuses to get us places, like when we went to Ireland to find Meghan's family on the streets. Are you my mother?
God.
Basically, she was asking
Let me touch
everyone.
you on the shoulder. Are we related?
When we went to Hawaii to do a restoration.
Yes, I don't know why we were there. A revelation. Yeah. But it was, so this was like, okay, this is a real reason. And then this is just another junk
I feel
boat
like
of a
another
reason.
event.
I know.
Another event has to be coming next week.
That's what I'm hoping, is that there's going to be some sort of action like there was last year in Los Angeles. They had that whole protest around the Yulin. So we'll see.
Know.
Yeah, because if you dragged me to Hong Kong and half the women didn't even go to what they were ostensibly there for.
And they were all sort of complaining. We saw a lot of packing scenes with like, then there was Dorit and and her housekeeper, I believe it was, assistant.
Poor woman.
All I can think is just like another rich complaining woman and another other woman watching her pack.
And she's just talking at her like, I don't know what purse to use.
And all of
That's
them were
a real good Dorit.
She does a
It
great
comes and it goes.
No, you do a fantastic Dorit.
Thank you. And then Lisa Rinna packing by herself. And I watched a show with Matt McConkey who reminded me Lisa's taken to now doing a lot of solo work.
Yeah.
Monologues to dogs, monologues, just thoughts into the air.
I mean, she couldn't even get the non-model daughter to listen to her pack.
I know. And most of them were complaining about Hong Kong. Like, I just went to Hong Kong. I spent so much time. Like, all of them were like, Hong Kong.
Well, when we were flashing from all the packing, like, kind of glamorous packing a bit with Lisa Vanderpump and, all the jewels out. And then we kind of trickle down. And then when we see Lisa sitting on the ground on a carpet with her dog, Matt McConkey goes, her life just never seems aspirational.
It never does. And she needed that help packing because, I mean, she was dressed like she was going to a PTA meeting in Pasadena the entire trip.
Yes, like Erica Jaynes brought a styling crew. She had a thing where she was, just every outfit
was in
had
those
a theme.
photos that they photoed?
Yes, that is my exact question. Who did they pay a woman?
I don't
So Kim
know.
Kardashian has a woman that models all her clothes from the neck down so that Kim can look at her looks that has her same dimensions. Was that
How
Mikey?
did they find another woman that has the same dimensions as Kim Kardashian?
And then here's my other question. What is Mikey's job? What is
And how much is
he?
Mikey being paid?
He was her choreographer, her stylist, her
Companion.
Creative director.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had a great Mikeyism. Well, let me find it. Where he just says, tons of options. He always says, like, just some banal, like, terrible, like, phrase that you're like, why are you
But I kind of love that they're showing us, like, the backstage of all of this.
Yes. And I mean, this is these women's jobs. Like, and, if you're Scarlett Johansson, you don't go to an event on the red carpet without an approved outfit from your stylist. So I get that she's doing this, but the expense of it all, like she's hiring 3 people, she's flying them
But
all to
Mikey
Hong
set
Kong.
the looks at home. You don't need to bring the stylist.
No.
Right, like, can't they send her with the book? And it's like, here's Friday morning, here's Friday afternoon.
For what was a lot of just walking around looks. It wasn't like there was balls or Yulin.
I'm amazed by
Yulin
it.
galas.
Yeah.
I mean, all she wore was pajamas the whole time she was there.
Comfortable. She looked
a flowy pant. And then when I saw her run under that fountain, I was like, where's Mikey? Why is he stopping this? I mean, Mikey is that's the weirdest relationship. And while we're on Erica, here's Claire, my stylist who was on the show's thought about Erica. And I welcome all thoughts. And I think we're going to get
I hope I'm going to be okay.
more information next week.
Okay.
She believes Erica to be devastatingly unhappy with Mr. Girardi and living in like a prison in Pasadena as everyone's life goes on around them, that she's had to pay these gay men to hang out with her. And that she's so unhappy with him. And something very dark is going on.
I don't feel that. Like, I feel like she's at peace. I've always imagined that she's at peace with her situation and it's a sort of modern arrangement and that they're happy together and he pays the bills and...
I think that's what it was. And I feel like there's been some alluding to it. Like, you guys used to travel all the time. And she's like, well, we're busy now. Something to me has gone off. Like, he's not on the show as much. I don't know.
Well, was he ever really much on the show?
He popped up. And I mean, I know we saw him like an extra background artist at her birthday party.
Yes. And they had that weird lunch together that seemed very, very formal.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, the expense of Erica Jayne and... he obviously initially was paying for quote unquote Erica Jayne to exist in the music videos and the producers and Mikey and whatever. And so now I feel like she's using her Erica Jayne Housewives money to perpetuate Erica Jayne and he like pays for everything else.
Because call me old fashioned, but for instance, when we do our tour shows, we want to stay in a not great place because you want to make money when you're working.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how we definitely are.
Erica doesn't seem to subscribe to that.
No. I say she spends more money than she makes in every sense of the word.
I mean, she probably made like what, $1,000 to appear at that Mykonos circuit party?
More. I bet she made $20,000.
No way, Danielle.
There's no way she made $20,000.
You don't think so?
I do not. I do not.
She made a few $1,000s and she rented that enormous villa.
I think it was like $6,500.
Really? That's such a round... small number. I mean, I know the Greek economy isn't great right now.
But I mean, let's not get political, Danielle.
It's not political. It's just what it is.
Please. I mean, Mikey, how much do you think she's paying Mikey? 150
a salary.
200 grand?
Yeah, definitely.
More?
Well, and those makeup people, like, is that their full-time job or are they like sort of
have to have other
mercenaries?
Clients. They have to have other clients.
I would love to get done by them, Danielle.
Can we?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's find out.
And we can find their agency info.
Yes, sweetie. Sydney is here, my daughter, and she would like to talk into the microphone.
Take your daughter to work day.
This really is take your daughter to work day. What would you like to say?
Hello.
Sid, have you ever heard our podcast?
No.
How do you feel about Erica Jayne?
Wait, Sydney, Danielle told me that you name a lot of your dolls a very cute name. Can you say into the mic what you name your dolls?
You want to say what you name your dolls?
Nene.
That's right.
Nene. Miss Nene Leaks. What a inspiration you are, Sydney. I love that she names all her dolls Nene.
I love that she names all her dolls Nene too.
It's so... I feel like that's just coming from Danielle, but like she doesn't know, she's left the room. Where it's coming from?
No, I feel like it's a little bit Melania Giudice, where no one told her how to perform for the camera.
Yes.
She just kind of knows.
Yes. Well, if anyone's like a big Kathy, it's Danielle.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Danielle is a big fan of Gypsy, I've heard.
Yeah.
And
Yes, yeah.
Danielle keeps trying to push Sydney to be our third co-host.
Yes, I'm just saying.
Pushing her into the limelight.
Yes, I'd love it.
Now, you want to talk about Eileen.
Guys, now Brian, in our email exchanges of having him come to the podcast today, he said a phrase I've never uttered in my life and hope never to hear again, which was, I can't wait to talk about Eileen and her, and I quote, fabulous jumpsuits.
I love Eileen's jumpsuits. I love them so much. I think she looks fantastic in them.
Well, I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, I think she looks great. I think Eileen, well, first of all,
Brian, I'll do. And you dress very dapper.
Thank you.
Are you registering the absence of a bra?
as a homosexual, I don't register.
Wait, what?
This is my big coming out moment. It's like Kristen Stewart on SNL.
Wow.
Yes, I'm gay as hell. And so, I don't think about the logistics of what it takes to be a woman in a woman's body wearing women's clothing. But I will say, I think she looks great. I love that jumpsuit she was wearing at the cake party. I thought she looked great.
No, Brian.
I loved the look she wore to Lisa's weird green screen documentary taping. I thought she looked amazing.
What about her Python jacket?
That went in and then went out at the airport.
I did not love the Python jacket.
Okay, at least we have a standard.
And this is why Erica Jayne lords above everyone, that she wore a maroon sweatsuit to the airport because she knows a time and a place for a look.
Yes, and even her maroon sweatsuit. Guys, having a stroke. But even the maroon sweatsuit looked fabulous on her.
Absolutely.
We didn't see them on the plane. Was Erica taking a private jet?
No, she was on the plane.
She was
we saw
on the plane
them all.
because they were all passed out.
Sleeping. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So the weirdest thing about the trip, though, was wherever they went, every woman was dressed for a different event.
Oh, completely.
And it was like, Lisa Rinna was dressed to a PTA meeting, and Erica was in pajamas. And Lisa Vanderpump was Miss Havisham in some weird lacy thing.
Yeah,
And then when Eden tried to sadly recreate Erica's look with the 2 baby buns.
Oh my God. I thought that
she was like a Harajuku kind of thing going on, which is like a different culture altogether.
And not to be rude, the worst selfie I've ever seen taken.
The worst. Absolute
that was
worst.
a tough selfie.
That should have been taken out.
Automatic delete.
Delete.
I would have been like, no.
Well, I love those 2 warring days between Kyle and Erica, who were getting to the bottom of their mothers and the effect they had on them.
Beautiful part.
Lush gardens, having a great time. And then when we saw Lisa Rinna and Eden, who I would never speak to Eden again.
No.
After that event, bopping around, Matt was like, well, this is as janky as hell.
Yeah, just going to a bobo bar, like bobo tea.
Yeah. Ugh. And those buns were, and then her Scarlett Johansson, as a future robot wig for the jump pose.
That Tarantino look.
When she came, I verbally to myself, I watched it by myself late that night, and I just went, ugh, out loud.
Eden, Matt had this question. What is Eden? Is this very strong recurring character? She doesn't have an opening, right?
No. She's a quote unquote friend of.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
And guys, Eden's fucking weird.
Yeah, she's
Eden is
real weird. Real weird.
Like what she was saying about, what's that guy's name? London?
Oh, yeah. The
London guy. Okay.
The one that's catfishing her?
Yeah.
I have been on enough bad grinder dates to know that until you see what this person looks like in real life, you don't get half naked in the bed.
I guarantee London shows up and it is Mary from Sister Wives.
And she's paying for him to fly.
This is bad news.
Sketch.
And the Housewives, as a group, cannot agree on anything. You can tell them the sky is blue, and one of them will be like, I don't know about that. They all think this is a bad idea. And if you can get every single housewife to agree that something is a bad idea, then that shit is a real bad idea.
Really bad idea. And sorry to go back to Eileen very quickly. There's so much to say about this episode, I feel I'm curious. Are the women doing their own makeup, not Erica? Or is there a Glam Squad app they found in Hong Kong?
I always wonder that myself because
I'm going to ask Andy. I really want to know. I am going to.
Yes, that's an important question. Again, that's another thing we'll be discussing this spring. Teacher Appreciation Day, my crop top, and do these women bring them
I
home?
felt like when Eileen, remember she had that weird t-shirt on. It said MILF, but I couldn't even see the end. It was so sad. And that straight hair. And in her testimonials, Brian, why isn't she finishing curling her hair?
I don't know. She also had they flashed.
Oh, you're turning on her.
We got him. We got him.
I think she looks
She's
great.
too blonde. She's way too blonde.
I will say this. This was shocking to me. Last week, I wrote in my recap about Erica's trip home to her mother, and I wrote this whole thing about Erica Jayne and why I love her so much because I find it hard to express. It's easy to say why we hate all the housewives, but it was really hard for me to express why I love Erica so much. And so I wrote this whole, ode to Erica.
Danielle has tears shimmering in her eyes again.
And in the comments section
crying again.
of the recap, this is going to make you cry even more. There are people that don't like Erica Jayne.
But that's the internet. A bunch of
I know. I don't
just
like
some troll.
trolls.
She's beautiful. She's a beautiful inside and out person. She's a strong woman.
I absolutely love
Are
her.
there people that love Dorit, you think?
I could only imagine, but I don't know who they are.
I mean, let's just get right to the moment. Matt and I were so shocked when Erica Jayne jumped in the fray.
I couldn't believe it was so out of character.
But the best was
So out
that
of
come
character.
hither gesture she did.
Oh,
You
yes.
can't see me, but she was kind of like out with it, Dorit, and she was
Yes,
doing her
with
hands
her
like, come to me,
hands.
like.
Yes.
It was she was so still during the whole thing. No wonder she's been asked back on The Young and the Restless.
Oh, she has been?
Yeah, she's a recurring.
She is a natural.
Oh, she is. Watching her audition, she's a natural.
When what did she say? The thing that wasn't in the preview to Dorit, it was so harsh.
She said, "What is your problem with me, Dorit?" And then Dorit said, this was what I thought was the most interesting thing, is that Dorit said, "What is your problem with me?" And that Dorit didn't really have anything tangible against Erica Jayne. Her problem with Erica was that Erica, she
Won't
invested a
bond with her.
moment of time into Erica, and she didn't love her. Like Dorit
She's
can't.
like, all the other girls have had a connection with. It's like, you're a fucking moron.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
she doesn't like you because
And
you're
you
boring.
started off wrong with her by telling everybody about her panty thing and embarrassing her. So guess what? She done got a minute for you.
And then every time she sees her, she criticizes her.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to sit next to me? Oh, that's the first compliment you ever give me. Oh, blah, blah. It's like,
she
girl,
calls her out every single
Lisa
minute.
Vanderpump does that with Eileen. It's like, this is tired.
Yes.
Stop bringing this up. There was
Yeah.
nothing there to begin with. It was amazing when Erica really came back at her.
no, I mean, do not mess with Erica
No, no.
And the best was in a
sir.
testimonial when she was like, don't come for me. She was, what did she say? She's like, we haven't seen that yet.
Jayne. Yeah, don't come for me on a boat. You haven't seen that yet. I was like, no, I have not, but I want to.
I want to. Junk boat fight. Junk boat fight.
I was like, the many faces of Erica Jayne. We're going
she
there.
is an onion.
See, here's my problem with Dorit. Next week, when we saw Erica crying, you don't know what I've been through. I feel like Dorit is someone who will play so dirty and get in there that
she
she
will.
could break Erica.
Oh, no. I don't think she's smart enough. I won't let her.
I want to know what keeps her up at night. I think it has something to do with the son. I think Dorit brings up something about
Guys,
her kid.
it's Mr. Twardy.
I don't know.
She's married to an elder.
I think she's cool with that, though. Like, I think...
When I see pictures of them from 10 years ago, they look very in love.
Yes.
But
But we haven't seen a lot of them together.
that's true. He's
So-
not popping up in a agency hat every 5 minutes. So you're correct.
And I found something I was Googling him one day to find out more about the lawsuit against him. And I found something about him on some weird like law blog. And it was talking about how he was going to be on the upcoming season of the show. And he made some allusion like, oh, I would never be on camera, and kind of like poo-pooed like the whole thing. So I think he's sort of like Jim Edmonds in that he doesn't want to be on camera. And so when he's on camera,
not
he's...
compare him to Jim Edmonds.
Please have respect.
Well, I'm just saying that he has an aversion to being on camera, and
All right.
maybe that's what we're coming across, as opposed to them being like truly unhappy. I mean,
Okay.
it's possible,
Okay.
but
All in all, I thought it was an amazing episode.
Yeah,
It was-
great.
it was-
I like when they travel. I like when these ladies
I
travel.
feel like next week we're in for a ride.
I'm excited to get on it.
me too, but not on a junk boat.
Not on a junk boat. Should we take a break?
Take a break.
We're back.
Guys, Atlanta this week.
Wow.
They are the best that America has to offer right now.
Yeah.
100%. And I can't believe we should have done them first. You were right, Danielle, because there's so much to say and we're running out of time.
That's okay though. But guys, what I love about Atlanta is they start mid-fight sometimes. And that was great to come in already going. The motor's running. You just got to hop on that train, even though it's already moving. And I love that.
It was amazing. I mean, only in Atlanta can this phrase be said back to back. Phaedra says this to, I believe it was Portia. She comes in another unbelievable vacation outfit.
I mean, she's looking good with that hot boyfriend.
Her dimensions. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Phaedra I'm talking about.
Phaedra.
But Portia, of course, is looking great.
Yeah.
But Phaedra's always in like some crazy, wild, revealing vacation look.
I could not that like weird thong bathing suit she had with like one boob half out. Like her boobs looked like Andy Cohen's eyes. Like they were just, I could not even imagine what they looked like.
Looked like Andy Cohen's eyes. Oh, Brian. Well, this is a direct quote from Phaedra, and she made this turn very, very seamlessly about her swimsuit. And she says, "My booty keeps eating my swimsuit," and then immediately walks out. And as an exit kind of an exit, just says, "Keep me lifted in prayer." I'm gonna start saying that when I leave a room. Just keep me lifted in prayer. Gotta go.
Did she mean like herself and her soul, or did she mean her boobs?
All of it. I
think her body, keep it lifted.
Keep it lifted. Keep my spirits lifted.
God.
Keep me lifted. Keep my ass lifted.
Keep me lifted in prayer truly might be one of my favorite lines.
It's gonna be your new catchphrase.
And there was another line I'm really quick in Beverly Hills I forgot to mention, which is what Erica said when she said, "Do I have a wall up?" And then we took about a 5-minute pause, and she said, "I have my eyes open."
Oh, I love that moment.
Okay, sorry.
Perfect.
Back to Atlanta.
But Atlanta, I also felt like, strangely, Kenya was the only calm voice.
Yes.
Because when in the middle of everything, Candy's so upset, I felt like she was the only voice of reason. Especially when Portia went in, like Candy is so upset. She knows she's upset. And she goes in and starts going in on her more. Phaedra's like, "Well, you've also said things about me." It's like, do not come at her at this minute. And Kenya was the only sense of sort of like dignity and calmness.
And trying to get Phaedra out of there.
Yes.
And if Kenya Moore is your sense of dignity and calm, your shit is busted.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Like, that is an indictment. I can't even.
I know. It's so strange who comes kind of like clear. You know what I mean? At the weirdest
And she didn't get much credit for it because in that crazy scene in the car between
Oh my God.
and Sheree.
The darkness. My favorite is when the housewives can't contain the darkness and it comes up from underneath. And boy, did it come up with Sheree and Bob.
Boy, did it come up.
That
Brian.
was so upsetting. And we saw it in the preview last week, so we weren't surprised by it, but
It was truly one of the most upsetting scenes I've seen in the Housewives.
Oh, and just both times in the car and in the jewelry store where he's trying to like contain her and hold on to her, and she has to like physically peel him away. It was so upsetting to me.
and in a way where like we've been rooting for them this whole time.
Yes.
And I had known he had been a bad husband and cheated and been immature, but I was rooting for them because it seemed I didn't know that this was there. And then to bring it up and joke about it with her shows
Yes.
you have no growth.
When he's asking, "Did I strangle you?" and you could still breathe. It was so shocking. And
it was like
I really did appreciate Kenya's reaction. Like, she was the only one, she was like, realized the gravitas of this, that I've never seen Sheree cry like that.
Yeah.
I felt terribly for her.
And then also Phaedra just going like, apologize to her. It's like,
But Phaedra's acting like we're in a sitcom. She's like, apologize.
I know, it's
and
crazy.
If you need to be told to apologize to her in that moment, like you are a different sort of monster.
I'm not defending Bob. I'm genuinely asking this. Has Bob had multiple like concussion football related injuries?
I could only imagine.
I don't know what
I don't
position
know.
he played. He's a bigger guy, so it has
But
to
he
be.
seems to not be totally there.
Well, and then they're in the bar and it's Peter and both Todds, and he's like, "Oh, they're hot girls at the end of the bar." And all three of them, no saints among them, were like, "Boy, that's messed up." Like,
And Peter's
That's real
not
messed up.
even married.
married to,
No.
I mean, he could be with any of those ladies legally. It would be fine.
And one thing I'll say is Phaedra kept saying, like, we've had so much darkness in our group and we need it was a restoration, right?
A restoration.
A
I
restoration.
believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Just
hardware.
as-
It was
to
a restoration
me,
hardware.
A restoration, but it could have just been called a conversation.
Yes.
Because I thought it was going to have a ceremony in a church. Like I thought it was, and then it was just like a conversation in a hotel
An
foyer.
uncomfortable
And like, yeah, like in a living room of a Four Seasons in Maui.
And I felt for Cynthia because it's like, who the fuck wants to talk till 12:30 a.m. when you're in
No.
Hawaii?
No,
No.
and just like the women of Atlanta can have these sort of circular conversations where it's just like the same points over and over again. And I could only imagine like sitting there listening to them for hours go like back and forth and just being like, oh.
And none of them will admit wrongdoing. Like, none
Never.
of them. It's just not part of their DNA. They
But I
just
feel
do
like
not want
this
to.
group enjoys each other despite all of this.
Yes.
They have more.
Oh, they have the most fun.
Genuine kind of like things between them, especially the guys. You remember
Yes.
when the guys hang out in OC and it's so uncomfortable?
Yes.
Don't
It's like
like it.
watching
No.
Terry Dubrow try to hang out with
Jim Edmonds.
and Tamara. What's Tamara's?
Oh, Eddie?
Eddie.
Eddie.
It's just a disaster.
Oh, it always feels so like these are three guys that don't speak the same language.
motley crew.
And no, the Atlanta guys and the Atlanta ladies, like they have more fun than any of the crowd.
Even despite what's been said to each other.
Oh, they had the forgiveness without again, because none of them apologized. It doesn't matter though with this group because they truly enjoy each other and make each other laugh in a way that none of these women have the best sense of humor out of all of the cities.
And then Portia said something like she's talking to Todd and she goes, oh, well, with this group, we just get up in the morning and keep rolling. And like, so I'm sure it's all going to be fine. And more often than not, that's what they do. They're just like, whatever. And then they like bring it back up later as ammunition of some sort.
Now, a friend of ours who was on the podcast a long time ago, Amy Hartwick, emailed Danielle and I to ask a pretty shocking question and a rude one, which is Todd a little person?
I mean, I don't know.
I said no, I didn't think so, but
He's a real small person.
Yeah.
He's shorter than Candy, right?
Now, I love a short man.
yes. I don't know. Candy is like 4'11".
Yeah, Candy is tiny. She's a teacup.
Yeah, she's a teacup, short and stout.
We all know.
What does that make Todd? Like the creamer? I'm not sure.
Wow.
What does that make Marvin?
Yeah, what is that? Oh, Marvin.
Oh, man. This was a dark episode.
I would say the moment that broke my heart, I am a huge Sheree Whitfield fan.
Me too.
I can't believe they ever got rid of her. She is just amazing. And Deanna, on your last episode, mentioned that we've never seen her being romantic with anyone. She's never had a boyfriend. She's never gone out on a date. Like, we've never seen it. She's just this, like, strong, self-possessed, great woman. And to hear her talk about
self-possessed.
Well,
guys, I think we're going a little far.
but to hear her talk about how Bob hurt her and she was like, you know, I can't believe I almost gave him another chance. Like, that just
Broke my heart.
destroyed me.
But here was the kicker to me because it was so upsetting. Everything was, and I understand that like when you're hurt, you hurt people. But for then her to come around on Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was, I did not see that left turn happening.
Because I did feel like Kenya has been there with abuse and she's been open about that.
Yeah.
And I felt like she was so genuine in reaching out to her in the car. Kind of like,
Yes.
it doesn't matter where we are with our friendship.
Yeah.
You're crying and a guy has abused you and is laughing about it in front of your friends.
And you
Yeah.
need a hug, you need comfort, you need love, and I am here for you. And then for Sheree to turn it around on her at the restoration was, I just, and of course,
I mean, it didn't shock me with Sheree.
yes, I know.
I mean-
I love Sheree in a way that like she can kind of do no wrong to me, but I was like, what, Sheree? Like, what are you doing? She was the only one that came around and hugged you.
Yeah.
And here you are turning on her. Like, what is your problem?
And it was really kind of sad when Bob then tried to buy Sheree jewelry.
Yes.
that moment
Oh my
was
God. Like, that was going to make it all better.
That was, and then Bob starts laughing hysterically,
When
which
Bob is left alone in the jewelry store laughing,
my God.
felt so uncomfortable.
it was so upsetting. And again, this is not to defend Bob. I'm just thinking my father, we have had some very dark family moments, as I'm sure everyone has, where my brother and I have literally been screaming at my father, you must apologize. You need to apologize. We're both crying like grown children. And my dad's like, I can't. I can't. Crying, laughing. Because I don't know. I felt Bob, and Bob's a monster.
yeah,
But it was just
physically
so,
and
Physically,
emotionally.
I've never seen a human look more like a monster than
he
Bob.
could not stop laughing. It was like
No, I
pathological.
think it was. I think he knew that he had fucked up royally, that he was winning this woman back, and then they had this moment where she realized that he's still the monster that he was
and
back
so
then.
infantile to try to just buy jewelry.
Exactly, and
Yes.
he made a lot of terrible decisions. And I think he was laughing because he was very uncomfortable. I think that's what happened there. I'm not defending that moment. I'm just saying that's what I believe was going on. I don't think he thought it was funny. I thought he was truly
It was
uncomfortable.
a sad ending, and then they show like the waves like washing up onto the rocks.
Oh, yeah. And
I was like,
Sheree,
is this Big Little Lies or Atlanta Housewives?
And, you know, I feel really badly for Sheree, of course, that she had to endure that. But, I mean, this is my favorite Housewives, like when it is like a Tennessee Williams play. Like when it is just like a real life drama. I just
Yeah.
love it.
We had 2 good episodes.
Really good episodes.
And I felt like Cynthia was finally jumping into the fray for once.
Yes.
In the big fight, she kind of jumped in, which I really appreciated.
No, I think that I'm glad that Cynthia was here. She looked fantastic.
And what is she giving Peter in the next episode? Naked photos?
That's what they want us to believe. And if
And of
so,
course I believe that.
I mean, that's real creepy. I think it was like the same gift that Melania Trump brought for the Obamas, the inauguration morning.
In that Tiffany's box.
Yeah, it was like a silver picture frame that said "Help me" in the middle or something. I don't know. But
Is Phaedra in love with Portia?
I mean, you have brought this up before. Is there a
Sorry, I thought it
sexual-
was the first time.
No, not the love part, but maybe it wasn't you. I think it was Deanna that brought it up last episode. Is there a sexual relationship?
There's an energy there. When
Yes.
they were reunited after the tugboat or whatever the hell that blow up boat they were on.
Yes.
oh my
Phaedra
god!
was so excited to see her friend, and I love my friends too.
But that boat looked like a Monster Energy drink can with a motor. It was the scariest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It was, all in all, they have a strange relationship. I don't know that this relationship will last, though. I think Phaedra and her friendships and Portia and her friendships are tenuous.
Yeah, they're
and
conditional.
I think they're conditional. And I think the one thing that happens, one of them betrays, and it's so easy to betray either one of them. I think the first betrayal, we're going to see fireworks. I bet that
Because
relationship
Phaedra
blows
is
up in our
holding on
faces.
so tight to Portia refusing to acknowledge what's happening
Yes.
around her, which is that she's accusing another woman who's been very supportive of Portia
Yes.
of drugging her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And raping her.
And having a sex dungeon. Yes, that is correct.
I mean, that's what I find remarkable. This whole thing is Candy said herself, if she had a sex dungeon, she would show you. It's like,
like, I'd be
that's what I
proud of it.
love
She's-
about this whole season is Candy's like, yeah, I know. Like, sure, I would hook up with you. Yeah, sure, I might have a sex dungeon. Like, how can you lie about that stuff about Candy? It's very...
The only thing I'm like, is the Marvin of it all true?
I mean,
But I think, guess what? I think Candy would be okay in some weird way. Like, they have
Absolutely.
some sort of relationship understanding where it's like, hey, like, she just seems kind of cool. She's been through shit. She's like, look, we have a good sex. Like, tell me about it. Let's, like, you want to do this? You want to take a weekend? Do your thing? Like, I feel like she'd be okay with it, I guess, is what my feeling
and that's
is.
kind of why you can't call Candy any of those names, but then Candy is telling Portia, like, you're sitting next to a freak hoe right there, because Portia tries to pretend like she's not that,
Yeah.
but she's obviously that.
And Candy's like, I am that. You can't hurt me unless you say like a lie about my character that I would like rape and drug you. Like that's where she's like, now you cross the line because that's bullshit.
And then again, to just watch Portia's Todd, sitting there with puka shell necklace on in the blankest of stares, looking like what Adam just described Lisa Rinna to look like on Watch What Happens Live. Shocking.
He's kind of like a human Cabbage Patch doll, that Todd. He just like sits there.
there's
Do you think
no-
he has a signature on his ass?
I wouldn't be surprised. It says your name here.
It's Xavier Roberts.
Now, the last thing I want to direct everyone's attention to, and I'm not proud of this, it involves Sheree and her son. Sheree, I was sent a video on my Twitter that I watched multiple times of Sheree's son,
Cairo with a K.
jerking off. And Danielle's viewed it multiple times.
I didn't know what it was at first because it was kind of blurry image, and I was like, someone just sent us this on Twitter. I got to get my head around it. And then
No pun intended.
It's got its head around me. Because I was like, what? And I proceeded to watch it 3 more times.
Yeah,
Because
your eyes are lighting up.
I just was like, what is this? And then I was like, well, now I have to watch it again to really get what it is. Now
It's
just one more time.
Titillating and thrilling. And he's a gorgeous guy.
Oh my God,
Gorgeous.
gorgeous.
But it's a quite close-up shot. I was like,
I
woo!
was face to face with that monster in his pants. And I was terrified.
It's really everything. Oh, and here's your daughter scampering back in, Danielle. You want to catch her up to speed on what
She's driven away, guys. She had a school day off, and so she's playing lovely.
I love it. I
Was
love
it Teacher Appreciation Day?
It's a different sort of.
And
like
Danielle,
holiday.
are you going to be on any of those committees? Have you volunteered yet?
I have volunteered for Thanksgiving. I was on the potluck.
Good for you.
That is the most lesbian job you could possibly have at your school.
Happy to take
Well,
it.
in the words of
Take it.
Eden, who said this quote, I am not lesbian. She didn't even add an A. She was like, I am
lesbian.
not lesbian.
Like, I am not lesbianese.
Right. Like, I love lesbian as an adjective.
Yeah, I'm not lesbian, but I approve.
Yeah. Wow. Brian, you are a star.
Yes.
I mean, it was so magical to be here in the Nook with you guys.
Thank you for coming. We
I want
love
so
having
much
you.
more.
I know. You'll have to come back. And obviously, if we come back to New York, we'll...
I mean, anytime you need me, I'm there. Thank you for
you.
being a friend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
everybody. I'm Lauren Lapkus, and I'm back. And so is my show with special guest Lauren Lapkus. It's the show where I'm always the guest, and there's a new host every week. We've got some awesome new hosts coming soon, and they're all a surprise, so you'll have to just tune in. New episodes of With Special Guest Lauren Lapkus are coming every Friday. Listen on Earwolf, iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Happy to be home.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Ackerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.